gorgeous, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm back building in Tartosa because I cannot get enough of this world. Don't worry, I will be resuming my save file in the next video, because in the next video I'm actually planning on building the Altos mansion, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, like I just said, I'm still very obsessed with this world and I wanted to build something else here again in that kind of Italian Mediterranean style. And I'm still kind of staying away from building a wedding venue. I have built a wedding venue before on my channel, which was actually a wedding venue that did not require the My Wedding Stories game pack, because unfortunately it is still very broken. The weddings still do not work properly, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the Sims team actually released like a laundry list of bugs and issues that they wanted to fix, but actually nowhere near all of the issues were mentioned on that list. I think one of the biggest one that stood out to me, at least, were the fact that they did not mention the wedding officiants that just did not do their job, did not show up at the wedding, and also that the cake cutting, I believe, doesn't work properly. So yeah, I'd be interested to see if they will be adding those issues to the laundry list as well. And unfortunately, they also didn't indicate a time frame as to when they expect these issues will be fixed. So right now they're still kind of empty promises, but we'll see. Hopefully soon they will be fixing those issues, and then I'll definitely be building a wedding venue. So today, as you can probably see by the title, I will be building a restaurant in Tartosa, and obviously it's going to be an Italian restaurant because I personally feel that the world of Tartosa is very heavily inspired anyway by the I would say the East Coast of Italy. Yeah, I thought it would be nice to have a spot to visit here instead of the wedding venues, because I think this world is still very usable for gameplay, but you know, it rather being like just a regular world that you could live in, or a world that you could vacation to. And I think it would be nice that if your Sims, for example, go on a honeymoon here, they might want to go out for dinner and then they can use this lot. So maybe you can see this, but I built this on the 20 by 30 lot, I believe. And originally, I believe SimSYT built a rental lot here, so unfortunately I had to get rid of that lot, which was beautiful. But yeah, I just thought this was the most beautiful lot to kind of build a restaurant, because there were a couple of things that I really wanted to incorporate. I kind of wanted to create like an semi-indoor, semi-outdoor patio area, which you see in the front of the building. So there will be some seating there and lots of fairy lights. It's going to be super romantic. But I also wanted to kind of have like a not necessarily a rooftop restaurant, but like an area of the restaurant that's a bit higher up that really takes advantage of the beautiful view of the Bay of Tartosa. So there will be plenty of seating there as well. And yeah, I was actually aiming for this restaurant to not be super big, because all of the kind of inspo pics that I looked up for Italian restaurants are like these rather small buildings in Rome and whatnot. Where they might have like a very little space for outdoor seating, but it's like really romantic, and they all have these like little tables with like a red and white checkered tablecloth, which unfortunately we don't have in the game. But yeah, that would be great if we did, though. That would fit so well in this build. So yeah, maybe any custom content creators, or I'm sure anyone would have already made something like that. But yeah, I thought that would fit here, but unfortunately it's not in the game, not in the Maxis items anyway. So yeah, here you can see the structure is coming together quite quickly. I was actually struggling with the colors quite a bit, and in the end you'll see me changing quite a bit as well. So right now the structure consists of this kind of brown beigey stucco, and I don't know, I just thought it was just a bit too dark looking, so I changed it to a bit of a lighter stucco. It's not white, completely white, but it's like a lighter beige, and I thought it just looked a little nicer. And also I think I deleted these fairy lights because, and I always have it with these kind of builds where my too much gene just kicks in and I want to make it super overgrown and put in all the plants and put in all the fairy lights, where I often think with builds actually less is more. I don't want my builds to look overly cluttered. I just find it very distracting in gameplay, and I've mentioned this before, but I definitely want my builds to be functional first and foremost. So I don't want to overclutter my builds or put heaps and heaps of items in, and then it just slows down your game. So I wanted to avoid that. So yeah, here you see me putting in some of the outdoor seating, which this is actually a very romantic area to be seated. So I'm definitely curious to know if you would go to this restaurant in real life, if it would exist in real life, where would you want to be seated? Would you want to be seated in this kind of patio area, or would you like to be seated where you have the amazing views of Tartosa? And yeah, I thought it would be nice to kind of incorporate this covered area as well. So this also takes advantage of the view, but I think it would be nice if you have like a larger group, or you go to the restaurant with your family to celebrate your birthday or something. I can imagine that you would want to be seated there. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you guys really like playing with restaurants. I've heard some mixed opinions. For me personally, if I would recommend any game packs to you guys, I think Dine Out would actually be very, very high on the list. I'm kind of torn between Jungle Adventure and Dine Out because, well, Jungle Adventure, it kind of brings back a lot of nostalgic feelings for me because it really reminds me of the Sims 3 World Adventures expansion pack, and I loved that expansion pack. I thought it was the coolest, and actually quite recently I played through that expansion pack just in my own time. And yeah, I think it's so cool. It's kind of gives you an Indiana Jones vibes, which I'm obsessed. And yeah, I really, really like that pack. So Jungle Adventure kind of reminds me of that, and the build and buy items are so, so good. I would just, if you're not really into that kind of linear storyline type gameplay, which I don't think Jungle Adventure has a really high replayability, because, you know, once you've discovered all of the tombs and whatnot, you're kind of done. You're not going to do it again, at least for me, or maybe not for a long time at least. But the build and buy is so, so good. So I would definitely recommend that pack. But restaurants pack, Dine Out, sorry, I just got the name and I just forgot it. But yeah, Dine Out, I think that's actually a very good pack as well. And that's something that I use a lot in my own personal gameplay. First of all, I love designing and building restaurants. But also in gameplay, I quite enjoy, you know, having my Sims go out to dinner, go on a date there, or, you know, go out for like a birthday celebration or something. And I think it's also like a super realistic thing. Like, when I or my friends and family, you know, when it's our birthday, we often go out for dinner. So I think it's, well, not the last 2 years for obvious reasons, but yeah, it's a fun and realistic thing to do. So it makes sense to have it in a life simulation game, in my opinion. But I've also heard quite a few people running into a lot of bugs with this game pack, unfortunately. And for me, I've had some buggy experiences. I think it was a while ago where I was in a save file, and for some reason restaurants just didn't work anymore in that save file. Whenever I had my Sims go out to dinner to a restaurant, like their food was just never delivered or something. It was really strange. But to be fair, I haven't really played with owning a restaurant in a very, very long time. So I can't really say if that works very well. From memory, when I did play it like a long time ago, it worked fine. The only thing that I had some issues with, because supposedly you're able to go off of the lot and still kind of open the restaurant and have your personnel, run it, and you would still be able to make money from it. But for some reason, that just didn't really work that well for me, or I made a lot less money than I would when I was on the lot. But I don't remember that well because it was a long time ago when I played with it. So I'm really curious to hear what you guys think, if you like the Dine Out pack, if you would recommend it, if you play with it a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite game packs, which actually I think game packs is a really fun concept. We didn't have that in The Sims 3 before. So The Sims 4 is the first time that we had game packs, and it's kind of like in between a stuff pack and an expansion pack. But it's also kind of weird as to how they make a decision if something should be an expansion pack or a game pack. For example, I feel like Island Living should have been a game pack rather than an expansion pack. And maybe Realm of Magic, it could have been an expansion pack, kind of. If they added just a little bit more to it, it would have been a great expansion pack. So yeah, it's a bit strange as to how they decide when something is a stuff pack or a game pack or an expansion pack as well. Stuff packs. Speaking of stuff packs, those are crazy in my opinion, because when you look at the earlier stuff packs, there was literally nothing in them. There were a couple of Create a Sim items, maybe like 10 or 20 build buy items, and like one gameplay item. Like for example, the Cool Kitchen stuff, it had like kitchen counters, like a hair and some dresses or whatever, and like an ice cream machine, and the ice cream machine was the gameplay aspect of the stuff pack. And then when you compare it to, for example, Tiny Living or paranormal stuff, they had so much more. So yeah, it's just strange. And to be honest, I miss stuff packs. We haven't had a stuff pack since paranormal stuff, and I feel like they've kind of replaced it for kids. And I don't know, I don't hate kits. I know a lot of people are not very thrilled about kits. I don't hate them because for me, I just don't buy the cast kits. I only buy the build kits. So the only semi-build kit that I don't have is the Bust the Dust kit because, I also don't really like the laundry day stuff. I never play with laundry. I don't want to be bothered to vacuum my house in The Sims. Like, I don't even like doing it in real life. So why would I want to do it in The Sims? So I didn't buy that one. But yeah, for big kits, they kind of make sense. But I wish they didn't replace stuff packs. Like, it kind of looks like they're doing that now. And I really hope they would bring back stuff packs, because I really wish they would just release more content, because it has been, it hasn't been a lot of content in the last few months. Like, the last expansion pack was in summer. Whereas usually we get like 2 expansion packs, but I have a feeling that they might be busy working on The Sims 5. So I'm curious to see if we'll have some news on that soon. I don't know. I have no idea how I feel about that yet, but I do love to kind of watch speculation videos and whatnot. So anyway, guys, I completely skipped out on talking about this build because honestly, I don't know what to tell you. It's a restaurant. It's like an Italian vibe. I like it. I think it's romantic. It's a nice place where I would want to bring my Sims. Also, I play tested this lot, and the strangest thing happened actually where my chefs just didn't want to go into the kitchen, and I had to reset them. And then they went into the kitchen. So in the end, it's fine. Which obviously, of course, Vlad was one of the chefs. That is one of the things that annoy me so much about the Vampires game pack, that the vampires just show up everywhere. And I've had it so many times where Vlad works in a restaurant. I don't know what's up with the man, but he's really obsessed with working in a restaurant. And I feel like he doesn't have to. He's pretty rich. He's pretty well off. But yeah. Anyway, guys, here we are in the screenshots. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like or a comment to tell me that you did. Or feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of my future videos. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!